back on site at our smart home takeover, and today we're looking at the central heating controls and how we can make that smart. So that means we're going to lose this traditional thermostat here and replace it with this Netatmo Smart Thermostat I've got here. Now this thermostat offers loads of options about how we can integrate it into the central heating system. So let's have a look at those now and what's in the box when we get it. So here's our Netatmo Smart Heating Kit. Before we look at the thermostats, check out this Smart Radiator valve. We'll come back to that later in the video, but that's a great addition to the system and quite unique. In terms of the thermostats, we've got two options here. We've got this one here that will work with open therm modulating boilers. That's a newer type of boiler. And this one here that works with traditional heating systems and boilers. So we're using this one because we're going to fit to an S-Plan Plus, and it allows us another option in terms of quickly getting a system up and running that this one doesn't. So we'll put this to one side. The kit inside the box looks the same regardless of the system, but just obviously software and some of the slight hardware differences. Open up the box. So here's our thermostat. So this is the bit that indicates the temperature and senses the temperature. This is an empty box, so you'd think it is, but this goes with this to form a clamshell design should you want to just have your thermostat mounted on a table, possibly by your bedside. Dig a little bit further in the box. Here's our instructions. Oh yeah, we love instructions. Interesting, you get these coloured surrounds if you want to accessorise the system at the end to choose a colour. There's some various coloured options in there. Obviously instructions, yeah, we'll read them eventually. Here's our relay module. And we also get this trim here. So say the original store has left it a little bit raggy around the thermostat, you get a trim so you can tidy up the operation. Inside here, batteries, so you will need those for the thermostat, put in the back to power it. And we love it when they're included. We've got some various wiring options. So, interesting one here. So say you didn't want to wire into your existing heating wiring and just replace the thermostat. You can add on the back of the relay, you just plug this 13 amp module in here and you can plug it into a conventional plug top. Most people, however, will be wiring into a central heating system, and here's our connection to the relay to enable that. So you get a hardwired connection here, so we've got two wires for our mains connection and two volt-free contacts here to operate the relay. And if you want to wall mount the unit, there's obviously this wall mounting bracket here and two terminals that you can use to connect into an existing thermostat. And that's the option we're going to look at first, which this one, that's obviously the one for conventional heating systems. So just going to remove our traditional thermostat. So remember these. Again, remove the front, take it off. Conventional back box. And as we suggested earlier, we've left it a little bit raggy around the edges. So obviously we've isolated our circuit before we started doing that because these are the existing wires that tap into our existing heating system, and we're going to insert them into these two contacts on our wall bracket for the thermostat. So again, it's just a case of removing this screw there, and there's our terminal. So we'll bring that in and then mount it to the wall. So make the connections, just bringing our, again, tidy up this edge, so bringing our trim plate that you can fit on. Even when you put the wires in, we'll just fix it back to the wall and then we're ready to go. So I've put our batteries in. Now remember, this doesn't get its power supply from the heating circuit itself. It still does need batteries like a lot of wireless thermostats. And I've added our coloured accessory there just to give it a little bit of extra. I'm just going to clip that onto the wall plate. And there we go. That's that part of the installation done. We're now ready to commission it. So just add this 13 amp socket adapter to the back of the relay module so we can get some power into it. Just remove the air freshener. Plug in, power up our relay, so it'll go into a discovery mode, so it's looking for the thermostat which we've just mounted onto the wall. And yeah, so that pairing mode, so we're waiting for the thermostat to display the temperature, which means the commissioning is complete. And now we have...
Oh, it can't be that simple. So we've removed our old bimetal strip thermostat and we've now got digital control of our heating system, Gordon.
Yeah, and that's obviously without using an app at this initial stage of the commissioning process. This system works.
The keen-eyed amongst us, we'll call them plumbers, will notice that that is not a combi boiler. However, it looks very similar to a combi boiler. If it was, that's where we'd need this wiring loom to be connected. Cables passed in, make the 4 electrical connections, and then this, which will hold our relay, is secured within the area. Once we've done so, it allows us to click into place the relay, like so. Okay, then we can use this, which is the freestanding battery operated thermostat in order to control the temperature anywhere we like in the house by mobily moving it around. So simply click those together and then we've got control of heating wherever we like in the house. So this boiler is connected to an S-plan heating system. So let's have a look at that next.
So far we've got away on this installation without doing any wiring because it's not the type of system that we wanted to fit our relays and thermostats to. As Gary mentioned, this is an S-plan, but actually it's a little bit further. This is S-plan plus. Well, the plus meaning there's an additional zone valve because the heating is split into 2 zones. So you can see behind us we've fitted 2 relays, one for the upstairs and one for the downstairs heating, and each one of those has their own thermostat. But now, here's the bit. If you've somehow wandered in here because you think we're a DIY channel, we're not. And the reason you need to get an electrician in at this stage is the wiring for S-Plan Plus, if you're unfamiliar with it, can be incredibly complex. Now, we've made a separate video about what we had to do to be able to wire these relays into this system, so check that out. If you haven't seen it already, there is some great fun to be had by watching that video. So now we've put the relays in there. Again, it's a 4-wire connection. You need to power the relay itself, and then there's 2 separate wires to work the zone valve. But now that's done, we've paired it. We showed you how to pair it earlier on. If I turn this thermostat up, you should see the upstairs heating burst into life. So we're already at a cosy 21 degrees, but let's increase the temperature even more. So you heard the relay click in there. So this isn't, the relay is not used in here because this is a wireless relay, and we'll soon see our zone relay switch on. We're expecting to see a white LED any minute now. So you can see our heating switched on now from our wireless thermostat. Now, in some properties you may not have a zone heating system, and the next product that we touched on at the start, our smart radiator valve, can allow you to add zoned heating to an existing heating system.
So we're going to replace this traditional thermostatic rad valve with this smart one. In order to do so, we must have a smart thermostat, at least one somewhere within the installation. First of all, we're going to put the batteries in it. So we're going to do a little quarter turn there, peel it away. I'm going to energise it with these 2 batteries provided, like so. Get them the right way round. Just put that catch back into position like there. Okay, we can put this back on. And then we've got a lot of different adapters in order that we can take this one off and fit it on. I've already highlighted the adapter I'm going to need in order to put this on. Simple task now. So we just take it here. We're just going to unscrew it. Take off the original rad valve. Like so, take that away. I'm going to put on my adapter. It's threaded on the outside and on the inside. So I'm just going to screw that one into position. And then we're going to take our smart thermostatic rad valve and just put that over the top. Just make sure the screen is obviously facing forward before you screw it down. And you can screw that into position. Look how simple that was to do. So once we've got that into position, it's just a simple little movement, so one way or the other way in order to change the temperature of this radiator here. So just a little simple movement. So you can see how quick that was in order to add zone control to your heating system. You can see it's currently searching for the relay, okay, from that icon just there, in order that we can commission that. But how easy was that to fit?
So hopefully you've learned in this video how we can add smart heating control to an existing central heating system and cope with almost any existing wiring configuration. That can obviously be incredibly easy or a little bit more challenging depending on how the configuration of the system was done. Now, if you're an installer and you want to find out more information about this, check out the Netatmo Pro installer program below. There's some great benefits for installers, but you'll notice in this video we installed most of the products without even needing an app, and that's again another advantage, so you can do your first fix and then allow that final commissioning and adding the smart app that goes with this, possibly to the customer once they've moved into the house. Check out the other videos that we've done on the Netatmo range. We've got a smart camera, we've got a smart doorbell, we've got a security system as well. Again, all works together, all available through the Netatmo Pro program, but yeah, check out those videos.